New York Yankees and Tampa Bay Rays today. We're going to be looking at the total for this game. Yesterday, very interesting. You had the two rookies getting their first ABs, getting their first major league at bats, and having back-to-back home runs. That was pretty cool for New York. Maybe a little vision of the future for them. Now, they're still in the wild card race here, so every game is important to them. But the total for this game I find really interesting. It's at 8.5. Now, both the games prior to this one of this series went over this total, but I think odds makers have this right. I'm going to be backing under the total of 8.5 here. We got Luis Severino getting the start for New York. He's pitched decently well since being called back up from AAA, and Jake Odorizzi can be really tough at times. He has a nice stretch of games going for himself as well. 8.5. Also, there's some good value on the under right now. I found it at like plus 100 or really low juice, so I think that's a smart play on this game here. Don't look for as much offense as we've seen the last couple of games. Jake Odorizzi, he gets to start for Tampa Bay. He's been fantastic his last 5 starts. Overall, he comes in 3.69 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, having allowed 0 earned runs versus the Yankees just 2 weeks ago. That was in the middle of a stretch where he went 3 straight games allowing 0 earned runs. Bookend on that were 2 games where he allowed just 2 earned runs apiece for his last 5 games. So he's been really solid. His road numbers aren't that great, but overall, his last 2 road starts, he's been good. So I look for him to come in and have a quality start. At the plate, Tampa Bay, still one of the weakest in the league, and they've had a couple, breakouts over the last 10 games, but not enough to have me want to back them on over the total. You're talking about a team that ranked 25th in runs scored per game. They're 29th in batting average and hits. Luis Severino gets a start for the Yankees. Call back over from AAA. There's still hope for this guy. He's just 22 years old. I think he has some good stuff. Overall, his numbers this year, not great. He comes in 6.42 ERA, 1.47 WHIP. Again, he's recently been called back to the major leagues from AAA, and since he's been back, he's been fine. He had a rough start against Boston, but he pitched really well in his first start back against the Mets, and then in a couple outings, one against Tampa Bay in relief appearance where he pitched just a couple innings, no earned runs. So he's been decent, I think decent enough at least to keep Tampa Bay down. At the plate, New York, they've had a couple really solid games. I know they're probably excited for the future with the young guys, but still, you're talking about a team, they rank 22nd in runs scored per game, and then they're down the line, 27th in OPS. So there's not a ton going on from the Yankees offense, and I expect Odorizzi to have a good day on the mound. So expect Severino and Odorizzi to come out, pitch well. They're going to score. These teams are going to score. I just think it's going to be below 8.5. That's going to be my major league pick, under the 8.5 between Tampa Bay and New York. And I wish you luck on your picks today.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.